Bounce off. Blue, instant. Return target creature or vehicle to its owner's hand. Okay, yeah. Good tempo. I never feel like this is very good. It's not bad, but I never feel like without any surveil, scry, some other things, it's all about tempo, right? So where I see this being good is either when you have a lot of card advantage and stuff, so you're fine doing this, or being super fast. I would kind of rather play a trick to kill that creature or vehicle, because this is always negative card advantage. You lose a card, opponent doesn't. But it is so cheap, and it's always cheap, and it also protects your things if you want them protected, so can't be bad, I think. Give me a little bit of your perspective. It's weird for me to grade like bounce spells, but they usually cost 2 in limited. 1 is kind of nice.
All right, here's my hot take. This card is hot. I think this card is
Yeah.
I think the decks will be consistent enough where this is highly desirable, one of the better blue commons. Because it's such a big difference between bouncing a creature and bouncing a creature after it's been mounted or crewed. And that's such a huge tempo swing, and I do think the first couple turns will be important, even if they won't feel snowball-y. So I think this is going to be a huge tempo swing. And like, for example, if you see this as a card, you say like, oh, it usually wants to come with Scry or Surveil, but what if it comes with tapping another creature? What if it comes with tapping another creature? Like pretty consistently between mounting and crewing a lot of stuff. And I think that's what it's going to pan out to be more so.
What question did you ask? What if it?
What if it also said return target creature vehicle to its owner's hand, tap a creature?
Ah, when they crew a vehicle to attack or to block. Ooh.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I had like 3 glasses of wine already, but I'm giving this a C+. I think this will be ubiquitous enough to actually be highly desirable.
And it's not only that. It's like sometimes you're gonna go opponent says end turn, and you bounce that creature then, and then there is no crew. They cannot crew the vehicle as well. Man, I'm on a freaking C+ as well. Yeah,
really high. That's really high.
That is really high.
I feel like drunk people are allowed to give it C+. Whatever. It's a C+. I'm in.
I mean, but you do need a little bit of card draw and stuff. I mean, I bet you can also like bounce your thing, get some value with that later on in the game, if that's gonna be good. Okay, C. I'm gonna be on a C. I'm gonna be on a C because
okay, that's a good sober take.
Yeah. It's like, but this set and 1 mana, so easy to use 1 mana where you don't even feel like 1 mana sometimes is 0 because you just have a random 1 mana lying around. 2 mana is never 0. When you have 2 mana, then it's like, eh. And there was that in, I don't remember what set. When it targets an attacking creature, it's 1 mana, this, but...
Yeah, Forest Dispersal.
Dispersal, but you Surveil for 2. Surveil for 2 was huge there, huge. But it is crazy tempo.
Yeah. So that card was nutty.
Huh. Chat is being very nice today.
It's because your people haven't come in yet. I'm just saying.
They've been very lovely, very lovely. Okay, go next.
Guidelight Optimizer. Guidelight Optimizer is a 1 blue, 2 mana total for an artifact creature robot. It's a 2/1 with tap, add blue. Spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell or activate an ability. I mean, yeah, these are never particularly exciting. Although it really depends on the set that they're in and how much you have to spend on this. There's a lot of artifacts in the set. And this being an artifact itself is a pretty big deal. I think this will be better than your average.
What are we talking about? Oh, I didn't order it by... Okay, my bad. Continue.
Thank you. But you're ordering by mana value, right?
No, I'm...
Okay, so yeah, the fact that this is an artifact is actually, I think, also quite relevant. And not in the sense that, hey, it can be destroyed. Because, like, yeah, if your opponent wants to point the artifact removal spell at your 2-drop, whatever. You don't care about that. I think this is good. I think it's good. I think it's a C, which is like half a grade higher than it normally would be in a set with mana add blue for set mechanic. but I think it's a C.
I think this is usually the grade is like D or something for these things. And I always feel like it's that they're gonna be better. I always feel it's gonna be better this time, better that time. It is an
All right, no faith,
artifact, so
Lola.
works with. Sorry, what?
No faith, Lola. That's okay.
Yeah, whenever I have faith, it's so misplaced. I've just had every time it looks better than the usual. It is always misplaced faith in this card. I'm just going with experience and thinking about this is most of the time gonna be a 2-1 that trades with opponent's creature. And that's not great. So I'm gonna be like a D plus because it kind of feels nice. It feels nice. I hope it's better because it's an artifact creature, so it works with some affinity. There's a lot of artifacts, as you said. There's abilities, exhaust, and stuff like that. So this actually has a lot of uses. But then I know it's not a green card, but it's always kind of like, what if this was add blue? That would be really nice and billion times better. But it would not be completely broken, right? But billion times better, but not completely broken. So if you just added blue. Like you kind of gotta trade your 2-drops a lot of times. So D plus and the Lord of the Rings one, was that where it had that touch? Was that Lord of the Rings? Where it was a 1-1
That makes a huge difference.
Yeah, was it the 1-1 that like had that touch, or you could make it have that touch, and it also had reach, so it can block literally anything. Yeah, like
Are you
D
talking about
plus.
Nightshade Dryad?
Sorry, what?
Are you talking about Nightshade Dryad?
No, 2-mana 1-1 frog. Was that the frog? Was that in?
Oh, you're talking. That's a LCI.
That's LCI.
LCI.
Yeah, the dinosaurs were in LCI. I don't know what is in Lord
Yeah,
of the
that
Rings
card is
even.
good.
Which one
Talking
did
about
we have
green
in?
ramp now. Whatever.
Whatever.
Talk about Midnight Mangler.
D plus and probably gonna. I can see this just being a D. It's always a fucking D, man. I hope it's good because then I like ramping and using the abilities easier. But when it's not just strictly blue, it's hard to use that mana when you need it, right? It's like not like, oh, I'm using this, but I still have 1 mana left over anyways. That's a little bit hard. Belgar Survivor. 1-3, add 1 of any color, spend this amount to cast instant or sorcery spell. Other player mills 3 cards, blue and tap. Oh. Oh, that was in Lord of the Rings? Okay. Midnight Mangler for 1 and a blue, it's a 3-3 vehicle. During turns other than yours, this vehicle is an artifact creature. Crew for 2. Okay. It's a really bad vehicle on your turn. So this is like a better 3-3 defender. It's kind of a cool take. It's a 3-3 defender, but it's not like once you play an artifact and things like that. The condition is not playing some type of card like it usually is, entering the battlefield. The condition is you gotta tap one of your creatures for this to become a 3-3 if you wanna attack with it. Which is kind of reasonable, right? If you're the one attacking, like if you're gonna block, it's the 3-3. That's a great stat line. But if you're gonna be attacking, then I guess it's fine to tap a creature. The problem I have is by tapping a creature, it might be not good to attack anymore. Because like, let's say opponent plays 2-drop into 3-drop, right? So when they attack with their 2-drop, the 3-drop can still block. Which means opponent's 2-drop maybe cannot attack or something. When you tap your 3-drop, I'm talking about a curve where this is the best, obviously. It's not great on turn 1 billion. When you're tapping your 3-drop, now opponent can attack with everything. So it might look like this is a good attack with a 3-3, but then everything they have can attack. So I don't think this is very good. Maybe in a control deck, slower deck. Maybe you care about vehicles, I guess. I don't know why you care about vehicles. Maybe care about artifacts. But it feels very medium. I'm just gonna give it a D.
All right, I guess I'm higher on all these. I'm giving this a C minus. The past one I would have given a C minus too. I mean, I think these are just going to be your choice common 3-drops for these kind of decks. You develop an artifact on 2, and it trades. Gonna be fine. I think this is totally fine. And the fact that this is, if your opponent doesn't develop the board, if they stumble, you can still pressure your opponent. Thumbs up. I think the conditionality of being able to play a creature on that turn is not that hard to hit. I understand it's not like a 0 cost, but I think this is what you have, and I think you're going to be happy with it. So this is a C- for me.
The problem is that the critical amount of vehicles where they become really bad, right?
I don't. Okay. I have to fight you on this one. Like this one becomes a creature on its own. Like you will never end up in a
To
situation
block.
where you're gonna have like 4 vehicles in the battlefield and Midnight Mangler and be like, I can't crew anything because you have Midnight Mangler and it can crew things on defense. If your opponent attacks with a 4/4 and you have like a 4/3 defender or vehicle, you can still crew and
Yeah,
block.
and
So like you can still crew stuff.
what if they have 4 creatures attack with everything?
Then you were dead anyway. Another one single card wasn't gonna help you.
No,
Well, I
no, no,
guess
no, no, no,
you're
no.
arguing all vehicles. You're arguing all vehicles or all creatures instead of all vehicles. I understand.
Yeah, like
That is
it's
a fair
not like
point.
they're
I
winning the
understand.
game
Okay.
because they played 10 cards. No, they play the same amount of you as you.
All right. Well, that's fine. It's a little bit worse. You're right.
It's
All right. But this is a creature on defense. And
or
that's
you
totally
play
fine.
this.
I'm not counting this to my vehicle count.
What if you like that? This is one of the highest vehicle grades I think I gave for this on D+. Like it's like you play this and then turn 3 you play a vehicle. And
then you don't attack. Yeah, it's true. You
Yeah.
don't attack, but you can block. Which is way better than normal vehicle.
Yeah, way better than normal. But what if opponent plays nothing and nothing?
Then you have not dealt 6 damage.
You have like not pressed your advantage, right? And then they get
Yeah, you haven't pressed anything.
and they can just
Yeah.
what if they land screwed and you keep doing this shit? And then it's like, yeah, I can block, but I don't have to. I kind of want to kill you, but there comes turn 9 and they're on 15 life. And if you just had random ass creatures, you would have killed them already. So
Yep.
be careful with vehicles, guys. I don't see the allure yet.
Allure is a good word.
Oh, thank you.
Sky Streak Engineer. This is a 1 blue, 2 mana total. For a human pilot, it's a 1/3 with flying, exhaust, 4 and a blue. Put 2+1/+1 counters on this creature. It doesn't crew more than it has power. What the heck?
Yeah.
That's really annoying, but that's okay.
Confusing.
I'm gonna be honest. I think this card's pretty good. Like, I actually think a 1/3. So looking at the commons in the set, I actually think a 1/3 stat line is pretty solid. Blocks the white common 2-drop that has first strike on your turn, right? This is able to get you to max speed if you have a max speed card on 3, even to get you to 2 immediately. Evasive, scales. I do think this card is good. Normally I hate 1/3s, but I hate 1/3 flyers a lot less in this set. And I really like a 1/3 flyer that scales into 3/5. A 3/5 is a threat. Once you hit turn 5, and if you have the excess mana to not be doing something better, a 3/5 is a threat. You have to handle that. Yeah, I'm giving this a C.
The 1/3 is shit, but yeah, it's true.
I think a 1/3 is way better in this set than normal.
This is evolve, right? This is adapt.
Adapt, yeah. This is adapt.
It's like literally adapt. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with this. This is the best 2-drop maybe that we saw. I'm okay with the C. I'm okay with the C. You need 2-drops. You need 2-drops. Like you gotta choose which one is the best, and this one feels like it's the best so far. Doesn't crew that well though. Spectral interference.
Despite being a pilot?
Despite being a pilot, yeah. C is a perfect rating Nerdy Steve has. And
So you're up.
Spectral interference for 1 and a blue. Instant, counter target archetypal creature spell unless its controller pays 4. Yeah, okay, like okay, verse Essence Scatter, but better for this set. Like it's like usually every creature that you play is gonna be creature, it's not gonna be vehicle. Sometimes maybe a sorcery. So it's like Essence Scatter counts literally everything. So this is like the worst one. In the developing phases until like super late game, this is gonna counter anything. Any artifact or creature, so that's kind of nice. But then there comes a point where this doesn't counter anything in late game, where they play a 2-drop or a 3-drop or even a 4-drop, but you can't counter it. But I think it's gonna hit so often that it's gonna feel like Essence Scatter. So I'm just gonna give this one a C. Like it. You're gonna go to C plus? Yeah.
Yep. 4 is a lot more than 3, and 3 is a lot more than 2. Counting with Scotty.
Yeah, but
This hits a lot. This even hits cards that were meant for, like normally there's only a number of slots in your set for design space of instants and sorceries, but some of them were taken up by artifacts. Some of the artifacts are just put on ETB effects for some of the instants and sorceries are just put on ETB effects for artifacts.
yeah, that's true.
And this just counters those. This just counter stuff. I think this is really good. So, I think this is C plus.
There's a very small amount of those that are just random artifacts that are not creatures. Like basically every artifact you're gonna play on common is gonna be like vehicle or creature. Like basically everything.
Sure.
It's it's like on uncommon, it's still basically everything. There's like gonna be 1 or 2 cards that are not artifacts, something like that. That are not gonna be creatures. Like I think it's like 2 cards that are actually playable that are common and uncommon, something like that. So it's
and one of them costs 1 mana.
Sorry, what?
And one of them costs 1 mana.
Yeah, so like you're not even trading up in. Yeah, one of them is 1 mana. So I'm gonna see. I like it. A bit worse than Essence Scatter in normal set.
Stall out. 1 and a blue for sorcery. Tap target creature or vehicle, then put 3 stun counters on it. Cycling 2. So I have trouble with this card because normally I'm like, I've said it like 5 times. Conditional cards like cycling, right? Because sometimes you're not always, but if you're in the market for this effect, you are tempo oriented, you want to beat down. You better want this effect or you better have mulliganed. Honestly. Right?
Yep.
So I don't know what you're doing with this. I don't think this is significantly better than whatever than this card without cycling. I'm not really into this. 3 is a lot of stun counters, and I understand I have been saying that this is going to be like the early turn tempos are going to be really important for managing speed, managing your opponent's speed. But this is a lot of commitment. This is a lot of commitment. This is one of the cards that there has to be a specific archetype that wants this for this to be any more than a D for me. Like a specific good archetype. And from this point, from my perspective, I can't tell right now. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. It looks like most decks will be normal-ish looking, but if there's an exceptional deck that you can exploit because people don't know about it, this is going to probably be an important card. But I'm going to give it a D because I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I'm gonna be D on a D as well. It's again like hopefully you get some tempo out of it. I think I would rather play the 1 mana bounce spell.
Me too.
And we still gotta see the full set, but it doesn't feel like managing opponent's speed is gonna be that important. I think it's more like, fine, you get your speed. And that's just how it feels. Maybe I'm gonna like, so far in White and multicolor, we didn't see cards that are like, oh, I cannot let them get speed, right?
Not yet. No, not really.
No snowballing really, right?
No, it's just more like, oh, hey, all your cards do something minor better, but I'm afraid that they're going to add up to be quite good.
Okay. D as well from me. Flood the Engine for 2 and a blue. It's an enchantment aura. You can enchant creature or a vehicle. When this aura enters, tap enchanted permanent. Enchanted permanent loses all abilities and doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Very normal card, just added a vehicle type for like most removal. Got added. You can actually, when it's sorcery, so you can remove things if they have vehicles. It's fine, yeah, okay, 3 mana, loses our abilities and so on. I didn't see like really good bounce spells. Like if you use this on something, they bounce it and play it again. That's not that bad for 1 mana. For 1 mana, because they lost that card. You lost this card, they lost that card. I don't remember seeing cards that just like creature with ETB that bounces or enchantment destruction. Not really. So I feel like it's gonna be very serviceable removal. Why not? I'm gonna be on a C plus with this. I think you need removal. So this feels like a fine one.
Yeah, it's not that expensive. I
No
would give it a
sacrifice.
C.
No sacrifice as well. Like, no,
I
nothing.
mean, very little sacrifices, not none, but yeah.
There's literally one
Enchantments are a
black
little harder to come by.
uncommon bone
Yeah.
splinters effect. That's kind of nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorcery
C is
speed.
something I can see being
Fine.
maybe more realistic, but feels like that removal is gonna be fine in this set.
Yeah, it seems okay. Glitch Ghost Surveyor, 2 blue for creature Spirit Scout. It's a 2/2 with Start Your Engines. Max speed, 3. Exile this card from your graveyard. Draw a card. Wind Drake, significantly worse than the white one, the white
Mm-hmm.
Wind Drake. This is a Wind Drake. Starting your engines, fine, whatever. Like on turn 3, significantly less in my opinion than turn 2. And the effect is fine. It's fine. Expensive, fine. I'm not clamoring for this card whatsoever. I think this is a D plus.
What the hell is
This
happening?
is pretty Windrake.
Yeah, I'm on a D. I'm just on a D. D. What is happening in
Okay.
this art?
It's glitching and it's surveying, but it's also a ghost.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm here all day. I'm here all week.
Yeah. We had white. Every color has a surveyor, which has this max speed effect. White one is a 2/2 for 2 mana, which gains first strike on your turn. That is really nice. This thing is kind of cool because you can attack a few times and get that max speed if you really want it. Because it's a flyer, so it can continue attacking. But it's much better to have a 2-drop that has decent stats and can attack quite well. Night and day difference. The white 2-drop I really like. Next up, Keen Buccaneer. For 2 and a blue, it's a 2/3 Vigilance. With Exhaust, 1 and a blue. Draw a card, then discard a card, so loot, and put a +1/+1 on this creature. So 3 mana, 2/3 Vigilance, really bad. The threat of activation is something here. It's like now it's a 3/4, and it's very hard to block. Vigilance kind of nice, maybe you crew vehicle. Oh, by the way, I think removal is gonna be very good in this set. Because we're gonna see people, especially early, that play too many vehicles and then you start removing their creatures and they are messed up. They're messed up. So removal, I feel every removal is gonna maybe go a grade up. That's one of the reasons why I gave that removal C+. That, like, what was the name? Like, water knot, how do you call that? Water knot? Type removal. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. It is a 3-drop. I want a C-. I like this 3-drop. Probably serviceable.
Vigilance is hot with exhaust.
Yeah.
Threat of activation, like we don't see the combo that often, but threat of activation vigilance, that's hot. Because you just get to swing. And it's like so little commitment.
Yep.
It's really good. I like it. C-.
Because the starting stat line is kind of really bad. Like 2/3 is really bad.
Yeah.
Exhaust is instant,
Exhaust is
yes.
an instant. Yep. Howler's Heavy, 3 and a blue for 4 mana for creature Seal Pirate. It's a 3/4 with cycling, 1 and a blue. When you cycle this card, target creature or vehicle an opponent controls gets -3, -0 until end of turn. This is an important magic card. It's an important magic card because it can be in anyone's deck. It's cheap. This is the combat trick to look for, and it's also extremely punishing. So, like, when you look for combat tricks when evaluating a set, you want to know, first of all, what they are, what they do, and how punishing they are when you fall into them. This one is punishing because your opponent draws a card and eats your creature. For example, block a 2/2 with a 2/2, bam. They're up a card and they ate your thing on board. So this is an important one to remember because it's a punishing combat trick. Is it a good combat trick? No, not really. It's not really good, but it is punishing and it is very playable, I think.
For 1 mana, it would be amazing combat trick.
Amazing. But now it's just whatever. It's a whatever combat trick. But it still exists and it's still in the set. And it's a punishing one. So just remember that this exists, always punishing. But I think overall it's like a C-.
Oh, for me it's a D+. Maybe even lower, but let's start as a D+. Like the body is really bad, the trick is not very good, but the flexibility is really cool. But I'm pretty sad playing a 4 mana 3/4. I'm not happy with this 2 mana -3 -0, but it's really nice when you can't use it that you can play a 3/4. When I first read a card, I was like, how is this a common? How is this a common? Because I thought it has a static effect when it's on the battlefield that said whenever you discard a card, target creature opponent controls gets -3 -0. So I was like, man, when you play this is going to be oppressive. But that's not what it is.
Wow, you made so many words. You made so many words up in your head.
Yeah, I really did. I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know how. I think maybe it was like when you cycle this card or discard any card, something like that. I don't know. It's yeah.
I won't get ones, yeah.
For mana, 1 mana, these tricks become really, really nice, but pretty cool that it has two sides. Still think everything it does is not that great. Nimble Topterist for 3 and a blue. It's a 3/2. Not an artifact, but when it enters, you create a 1/1 flying Topter. Yeah, I'm into it. We had a way better LCI version where it was a 3/2 flyer, which is a really nice body when you're making a 1/1 ground servo. This is the opposite. You're gonna need a 3/2, which can trade, and then a 1/1 flyer. It's two bodies. Flyers are always relevant. So this is gonna be the 4-drop to look for, which makes the heavy, the 4-drop common to not look for. And 4-drop is where the slot starts getting very contested. 2-drops you need. Slowest set, the fastest set, you need them. 4-drops you don't, so the slot is contested. You can't put too many. 3-drops is kind of the same. You don't want too many 3-drops, but 4-drops is where it really starts to like. I don't want to pick any 4-drop. I want the best ones, and if I can't get the best ones, it's not like I need the worst ones. But it's fine to not play any. So this kind of he's gonna put a lot of 4-drops to shame, and it's great. And I don't know. I think I'm just gonna give it a B-.
I'm at C+.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. A lot of the flyers have kind of big butts.
Okay.
But like if there were if there were any X1 flyers, I'd be like pretty hot on this. But I don't remember any X1 flyers. They're all 2/2s or 1/3s at the low levels. But Floppers are cool. C+ for me. We're talking about Trip Up. 3 and a blue, 4 mana for an instant. Target non-land permanent's owner puts it on their choice of top or bottom of their library, cycling 2. This, for me, is a card that cycling doesn't... It's nice, but it's not as important because, to be honest, it's not a super conditional card. Like, your opponent is going to have non-land permanents. And you can tuck said non-land permanents. If your opponent's all of your permanents suck, you're probably winning. So this I'm just gonna this is basically the same grade for me as normally this effect would be, but with the caveat that there are some discard synergies, some, not a lot. I don't think there's a ton. I don't think it's gonna be like, dang, this card is so good now because I have those synergies. It's a C- for me.
C- as well. Yeah. No scry, no nothing else. Not a bad effect though. I just want to say one thing about Unreadable Topterist and all the cards we're gonna see in the future like this. Multiple bodies, this is just good on its own, but multiple bodies in this set, that's very relevant. It means like the removal is not going to mess up your vehicle count on the battlefield. Like now you can have creatures and you can have vehicles, and it's not going to be a problem to crew them. And a lot of them have crew 1. So multiple bodies is going to be very important in this set, I think. Very, very important.
That's a very convincing point. Yeah, that's... B- might be right. You're right.
Plus, like, it's nice to have artifacts because that also works with some affinity cards and things like that. But it is the multiple bodies. We got a Hull Drifter. Not a Mal Drifter, but a Hull Drifter. For 3 and a blue. That's 5. You got a 3/2 flyer vehicle, and when this vehicle enters, you draw 2 cards. You can crew it for 3. Okay, very bad body. 3/2 flying vehicle. That's bad. Really bad. Crew 3, incredibly high cost, incredibly high. But you do draw 2 cards and you can trade. You usually are not gonna kill opponent with this. That's probably game is going super highly in your favor, so why not? But it can trade with like 3-drops or something, so I'm okay with this. It's a common, so you don't need a lot of them. But I'm pretty okay with this. This makes you want to play way less vehicles as well. And especially in blue with a card that we saw 3/2 that makes a 1/1. I'm on a C. I hope that's not too low, too high. But I think it's pretty good.
I mean, I think this is overall a lot better than the standard 5 mana draw 3 with set mechanic that we usually see with minor upside. I think this upside is a lot better than that. Like, I understand you can't always trade, but there's going to be a lot of situations in a normal game where you just can. And that's fine. And also, like, it can't, flying, you just can't sleep on flying. Sometimes you just jump a creature, like your 2-drop can now jump, or no, not 2-drop, but like your 3-drop can now jump and dish out flying damage. That just has to be answered. There's going to be some boards. There's going to be some boards where you just have to kill a Hull Drifter, and that's going to feel like crap. It's going to feel so bad because your opponent drew 2 cards off of it, but you have to because it's the threat. And I think that's a lot better than the normal draw 3 mana for 5. So this is a C for me as well.
Draw 3 is a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Gear Seeker Serpent, 5 blue, 7 mana total for a creature serpent. It's a 5/6 with a fin. Oh, there goes my microphone. Hold on. Oh, is it breaking? Anyway, affinity for artifacts, 5 and a blue. This creature can't be blocked this turn. This is a reprint from Kaladesh. This is a reprint from Kaladesh.
This is a reprint from Kaladesh.
And I think it's going to be worse than this set. I think it's going to be worse. Specifically because there's no core set mechanic that makes artifact tokens. There is a reasonable density of artifacts, which is fine. Oh, crap. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. But I think it's going to be a little slower. That being said, this has always been pretty good as a finisher. Like 6 toughness is huge. 6 toughness is a lot of toughness. It can block really, really well. The turn it comes down, 6 mana, 5 mana, I think is relatively reasonable for this, given the density of artifacts in the set. To be able to like turbo it out any earlier than that is kind of unrealistic, but I still think it's like a C-.
It's been really good in Kaladesh.
It was really good in Kaladesh.
But yeah, you had a lot of those things that just make servos super fast. I'm gonna go to C- as well, but I can see it being higher. Maybe like in White, where you're turbo making artifacts, you play 5 that makes 2, you play blue 4 that makes 1, you're making some on the first 3 turns as well. So let's go C- for now, but let's go C- for now. Oh, by the way, for the last card, yeah, Dargatan is making a kind of a point where it's like this is like is a 2 mana 3/2 vehicle good, because it's like divination, draw 2 cards, costs 3 mana, and then is a 2 mana because you're paying 2 extra. It's 2 mana, I guess 2 1 and a blue, flyer, crew 3 good. No, it's horrible. It's unplayable. It is unplayable. But the different things happen when you fuse cards together. Like when you fuse cards together, you're not playing a divination and a 2/3 flyer, because you're playing a divination that draws you 3 cards for 3, and this 3/2 flyer. Because you're not using 2 cards, you're using 1. So that is 1 extra card advantage, 1 full extra card. It's not like these 2 cards, like you're playing those. When they're fused, that is 1 extra card. Very important thing to remember. Very, very important. Oh. We're on to uncommons. Like, yeah, it's similar like Glimmer Burst, right? 3 mana, draw 2. That would be like divination. And then 1 mana, 1/1. Do you want to play 1 mana, 1/1 with no text? No, that is the worst card ever. Do you want to play 3 mana divination? Or no, you don't care about it. Nowadays, it's nothing special, really. It's nothing special. You kind of don't care about it, don't want to play it, probably. But then you fuse 2 cards together, you get a best common in the set, which I think is better than the Hull Drifter. But you fuse 2 cards that you don't want to really play. One of them is unplayable, one of them you don't want to play much, and you get a best common in the set. It's not the same, because here you're getting the vehicle that's hard to crew, but fusing cards together is getting 1 extra thing, 1 extra card advantage. Not a small thing, not a small thing at all. That's how you win games, right? Value or tempo. Spell Pierce for blue, instant speed, you counter target non-creature spell unless its control plays 2. No, I guess there's vehicles. So it actually has some place. Yeah, it is much worse than Glimmerburst, but D minus or an F? Like usually this is an F for me, but is it still an F or do vehicles push it to be better, Scotty?
I don't think this is. I don't think this can be an F.
D minus then for me.
Okay, I'm gonna get a D.
Pretty interesting that this is in the set. That's pretty interesting. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Kalorna. Coral Tyrant. 1 and a blue for a legendary creature octopus. It's an 08. A D minus.
D minus, sure. I mean, I'm good then, but 08.
Crap.
I don't want to play it, but I guess I am. If I don't have 2 drops, I'm gonna play it. And I never want to have 2 in my deck ever. I mean, I don't want to have 1, but 1 is, I guess, playable. Diversion unit. You don't want big butts.
Playable?
You don't want big butts in Magic. In life, it's your choice. Diversion unit. 1 and a blue. It's a 2/1 flyer. And you can sacrifice this creature for 1 blue mana. Counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 3. So 2 mana, 2/1 flyer. That is nice. Always nice. Artifact, even better. And then every turn that you have blue, open opponent, like they can't cast something that's better than this most of the time. That is like it is really bad for them to cast anything, an instant or creature. Oh, sorry, instant or sorcery that's better than this because you're just gonna like counter. It's amazing. This is gonna be standard playable, I think, but in limited it's gonna be worse, but still great. I'm gonna give this just a B minus.
B minus is really good. Yeah, artifact creature, flyer, evasive, helps with speed. You know that the emote, I didn't ever answer this question when someone asked me, but the emote is a common Korean emoji for crying. Because obviously it looks like a crying face, but those are Korean characters for you.
Send
Crying
emoji in
face,
your
you
chat.
know?
Send it in which emoji?
I can't type in Korean. I don't have I mean, I could, but it takes me too long to switch to a Korean keyboard. But just look at its face. Just look at its face. Those are Korean characters. You.
Oh, okay. And what is that? Repeat what you said.
I'm just saying that it's a Korean. It's what Koreans type for crying. You know how like we usually do like colon sad face.
Oh,
Whatever,
for
colon
crying. I heard crime. I've been playing a lot of RTJ in the
Koreans type
recent days. I heard crime. I'm like, what crime? Is this? Who does crime emojis? Ah.
Yeah. QQ. It's the same as QQ, but in Korean it's UU because that's what the character says. You. It's
You know
you
where?
and you.
You know where? So that is exactly the same, like QQ.
Yeah, it's the same as QQ. It's the same as QQ.
Do you know where that came from?
No idea.
It's from Warcraft 3, and it was not crying first. It was like,
Oh, really?
yeah, it was like QQ for quit, like quit the game.
Oh, wow, that's fascinating. I can't believe you know that because I played so much Warcraft and I'm a little jealous that you know that and I don't.
I played Dota, a ton of Dota. Now I'm a little bit afraid that maybe I said
Did we play
something
Dota
wrong.
together?
What?
We're the same age, right? How old are you?
35, but
Oh my gosh, we probably played Dota together at some point.
really? I switched to Hon, Heroes of New Earth.
Well, I played Dota way before Han, like when Dota first came out.
Same,
with
same,
like,
same.
you know, Ice Frog, not like Guinsu Dota.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we
Dang.
did. Maybe
Okay.
we did. Okay, next. You're happy that I know internet things, right?
Oh, I don't really care.
Oh, but you're always shaming me when I don't know internet things.
Rangers Refueler. Rangers Refueler, 1 and a blue for an artifact vehicle. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, draw a card. Exhaust 4. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. Crew 2. Oh, this is kind of slow. I mean, this is kind of slow. 4 mana to turn into a creature, even though it's a 4/4. Like, I understand you pass. So the best thing about this is that you play this on turn 2, you get attacked, you lose life, you fall behind on board. But
You draw a card.
on turn 4, you pass the turn. You pass the turn on turn 4. They can't really attack you with their 3/3. And even if they do, you draw a card, you block, they use a combat check, whatever. But it's a little slow, you know? But it's a little slow.
It
but
is a little
you can't
slow.
also discount the fact. You can't also discount the fact that your other exhaust abilities will draw cards. So if they don't handle this as not a creature or as a 4/4, you're just gonna be able to get incremental advantage throughout the game. So this is nice. This is nice. I think this is a C plus.
And if you're green though, like green has really nice. I mean, I think
Simic
this.
is
I think this is great. Like blue, actually, blue already has like good exhaust, two good exhaust commons. Commons. What do you give this?
C plus.
I'm giving it a B minus, man. Like, this can be a lot of cards. I hope the set is gonna be as I would not say slow, but not as fast paced as I think. C plus B minus. Nah, we don't have to fight for that. We don't have to fight for that. It is like on its own, it's gonna be fine a lot of times, but it really is like incremental value if you have some exhaust, and I think you're gonna have some exhaust, and also this just replaces itself. If I'm wrong and the set is super fast, I don't know if you have time for this really, but I think you're gonna have time to use these abilities. I think this is maybe gonna be better than a B minus, but it's gonna start it as that. I'm in love with this card and effect, and I still didn't see really good aggro, really good aggressive cards. Like what did white have? Not much that favors aggression. Blue definitely
2/2
not
first
much.
striker. That's it.
What?
2/2 first striker. That's about the best it gets.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Maybe that +1/+1 vigilance, like that helps, but that's full card. Alright, next up, Scrounging Skyray. For 1 and a blue, it's a 1/2 flare, but whenever you discard one or more cards, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. Ooh, let's go blue. It can also cycle itself. Let's go. Oh my god. Look at its face. I love this.
Have you never seen a skate before in your life?
Who?
Have you ever seen a skate before in your life, like a stingray, like a ray?
Yeah, but this one has like full face, like a human face.
Yeah. If you ever come to Korea, let me
Bird
treat you
face.
to fermented skate.
Okay, yes. I want that.
It's one of the more disgusting. Well, okay, I'm drunk. Apologize for being a little culturally insensitive. It's one of the most inaccessible foods I've ever had in my entire life.
Like it's hard to get?
No, it's
Oh, inaccessible to your palate.
I apologize for the people who like skate and who are Korean, but it's gross.
Oh.
It's really something. Fermented skate is it's one of those things that you have, and it's like a TikTok challenge. It's like a TikTok challenge where like you
Oh.
eat fermented skate, and it's a meme amongst people.
Oh, is it like
So
fermented, you know, who was it? Like, it's not it's Dutch food maybe? I don't know. Somewhere in the north of Europe.
I'm sure there's other things like it in the
Yeah,
world. Yeah.
surströmming. So it's Sweden. It's Swedish. Yeah, surströmming. Yeah, that I heard that's huge. So it stinks and so on. Maybe you can treat me to something that you like then. Does that mean I'm invited?
You can always come. I'll show you around.
Okay, that's great. Do I like have a place to stay?
You can sleep on my couch.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's amazing.
Well, if you don't smoke.
I'm not gonna smoke in your house. Can I
Okay, please
smoke
don't.
outside of your house?
Probably. Yeah, sure. I can't stop you.
No, I mean you can.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just to make sure you don't stink when you come inside.
I mean, if you go to a bar, we're gonna stink, right?
I mean, I can walk out. Okay, look, if you walk outside my house and you smoke, you're probably going to be next to like 3 other people who are smoking.
Yeah. You muted yourself, I
So.
think. I think you muted. No, you didn't. Okay, so I'm gonna stink. But yeah, it is how it is. Yeah.
You're gonna be a smelly boy. Yeah. I mean, like, okay, like I can't stop you from Han not liking you. Han's just gonna hate your guts and hate you forever, and that's gonna be fine.
We can be at a distance.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna smoke like I'm not gonna smoke in your house or something like that.
Yeah, don't do that. Also, I'm gonna get kicked out. You're not allowed to smoke inside.
Yeah. How about we kick out the hand for that period of time?
Yeah, sure. You can sleep in my bed then.
Uh,
Yeah, this card is. I actually think this card is quite good. This like 1+1/+1 counter on this is huge. What did you give this?
I didn't even talk about it. We talked about a face
Oh.
and Stingray.
Oh yeah, sorry. Talk about it then.
So, but it depends. It depends. Like where you're looting, because I think it is pretty good. Like if it gets one counter, that's great. But if you can get more, like in Izet, I think it's gonna be wow 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 wee wee. So probably needs a ceiling. I think this one. We're gonna have to populate the grades. Are you gonna make the spreadsheet, Scotty?
I mean, no. Is Giannis dead?
And Jonas is basically that. He didn't respond to me.
I can ask, but she's doing a lot of other stuff right now. She has to get it to it after she finishes.
Okay, yeah, okay. Are we gonna figure it? We can figure it out together because I completely forgot how to do it. I think I would pick it as a C, but ceiling of a B minus probably.
All right, I have faith. I mean, I get it. Like, to be honest, I'm not a huge believer in the is it archetype in general, but I think this card is really strong. This card is like really super duper strong. You don't even fall behind by investing in it. Um, I'm giving this a B minus. I'm starting it as a B minus, but I think a ceiling is still a B minus. Like let's forget about that. Let's forget about. You don't even need to be in an isn't archetype. You could just cycle some cards,
And that's a
and
lot
this is
of
huge.
that costs a lot. That costs a lot to cycle.
It costs a lot, but you also don't have to do it.
Yeah,
This
but
will
then
just be you invest 2 mana on this, you attack a couple times, maybe you get a little bit of speed, and like on turn 5, then like you cycle a couple cards, or maybe you have other ways to discard. You play a 5-drop that then cycles on its own. It's huge. It's huge. It's 2 mana to put on the battlefield. It's huge.
yeah, but
It's huge whenever you want it to be.
you really don't want if you're cycling, I think you really don't want it to be huge soon, and maybe even later. Because you don't want
Yeah,
to
but then
cycle the
it's your
card.
2-drop that's already pecking in.
That is a
I like
1-2.
this is B
That's
minus.
a horrible 2-drop. It's a 1-2. Why
Yeah,
am I
but is your
mentioning
opponent gonna
Izzet?
attack with it?
You said that you don't care about Izzet. I do care about Izzet because in Izzet you're gonna get a lot. You're gonna get more free discard where you're not expending resources to discard. It's just gonna be now I'm looting, now I'm rummaging, and I'm just playing my game. I'm not expending my mana to lose on tempo to discard. It's just gonna happen. That's why. That's why I'm talking about Izzet so much.
Well, I know. I'm saying it doesn't need to be Izzet to be good. I think I'd play this in any deck.
Okay, what do I give it then?
B minus.
B minus. Okay, then no ceiling. I need to run to the bedroom.
Lola's pissing. Leave your mic on.
It's different.
Leave your mic on so we can hear. Your
Oh.
bathroom is like really close to your mic, isn't it? Oh wait. Do you know what a filter is? Do you know what a limiter is?
I really gotta go. Like really.
All right, go pee.
You're drunk.
Bye.
You see now I know you're drunk. You would understand this.
Lola's leaving.
You can read this one. I'm
I mean, I'm a
try to
little.
hurry.
I guess I am a little.
The second number 2.
I can't hear Lola. Lola never like. Does he not have a gate? Does he not use gates? I don't think Lola uses gates or limiters. You know, I don't think he uses that on his stream. It was just kind of it's a little wild. It's a little wild. I doubt I'm on a limiter on his stream because it's through Stream Together, not through the OBS. What is a lush? I don't know. Whatever. Lush. What the heck is a lush? Anyway, Slick Imitator. It's a 1 and a blue for a creature. Ooh, start your engines on turn 2. 1/3. Max speed 1. Sacrifice this creature. Copy target spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. This is a strong payoff with a weak body. Very weak. This will very unreliably be able to build up speed on its own, which is rough. So I'm not a huge believer in these. Like there are a lot of cards that are just fine as good payoff and you can dream about them being big, but I don't think this is good. I don't think Slick Imitator is good. Oh wait, Lola's probably not on Slick. Oh, Lola is on Slick Imitator. I can see his stream. Anyway, I don't think Slick Imitator is good. Imitator is good. Unfortunately. I think it has a really high upside, and yes, you will get there. And it's one of those cards where you can point to a bazillion situations where, like, oh, Slick Imitator blew me out. It was so strong in this situation. But I think the average case is going to be subpar. It's going to be subpar. I actually think it's a D plus. I think you want to, especially in these colors, have cards that are good individually on their own, regardless of max speed. I think certain decks will be able to get to max speed consistently, but a way to not get max speed is to play a 2-mana 1/3. We may be, Bash Bob, at a disagreement in terms of how free a 2-mana 1/3 is. I think a 1-mana 2/3 that doesn't do anything else is really bad. Like, really bad. To be honest, I've been thinking about more what Shimmer said earlier about the difference between max speed on 2 and max speed on 3 being small. I think that's true. I think the only thing that's keeping me from fully agreeing with that is my ego. But I think that's true. I think the situations where max speed and 2 and 3 are different is like 1%, like just 2% maybe. A very small difference between max speed on 2 and start your engines on 2 and 3. Because like if you have a 3-drop, I guess you already have a 3-drop, which necessitates you having a 2-drop versus just starting having a 2-drop, which is just the difference between having a 2-drop and a 3-drop anyway. So I think the difference between a max speed on 2 and max speed on 3 is fairly small. Because you can start max speed on 3 and just attack with your 2-drop that you already played. But regardless of that, this card is small. It's crappy.
Slick Imitator. What I think? You read it, right? It's a 2-mana 1/3 at such ranges, max speed, sacrifice copy, the target spell control. Ooh, any spell. That's kind of cool. That's really cool. That's like literally any spell. Like you play some extremely powerful spell. But literally any creature, vehicle, destruction, or removal, I guess that's how we call it in Magic. I mean, okay, it's 2-mana 1/3. It's like really bad one until you hit the speed and then you still need help. But this card is way too cool. I like it. I think I'm gonna give it a C-, but I can see this being very low performing card. But I think you can make it work. So C-. What do you think?
I mean, I don't. I think if this is sort of like a spell that only works when you're at max speed, it's like pretty bad. It's like kind of mediocre. And I don't think a 2-mana 1/3 is like that good. I had it a little bit lower at a D+.
Yeah,
it is any spell. You can copy creatures and you can copy artifacts.
You can copy creatures. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I think it's easier to hit max speed than you do, but I'm still kind of a hater.
I give it a D+ for me as well. I can give it. We gotta do the grades later. But yeah, D+.
I mean, I hope we're haters.
Sorry, what?
I hope we're haters.
Yeah,
but I mean, it'll change really. We'll find out really quick how wrong we are about this.
Yeah, in a couple of days, right? Early access is on Wednesday.
I don't know. You're in early access. I can't get in, but that's okay.
Okay, we're gonna talk about it later again. Next time you gotta tell me like way sooner than like the last 2 days. But tell me that later, and we're gonna try to work something out. It's way too cool card not to try it, but yeah, it is true. It is a 2-mana 1/3, and a lot of like 3-powered creatures that maybe have 2 toughness. Yeah, it's probably not gonna be very good. But D+. You calm me down on this one. It's like wishy-washy thinking, like it's gonna copy a huge spell and that's gonna be great. Next one, Aether's Siphon for 1 and a blue. It's an artifact, start your engines. For 2 and a tap, you draw a card. Max speed, whenever you draw a card, each opponent mills 2 cards. Come on, what? What the fuck? What is this? Oh my god, this... Why do you have max speed effect here? Like this... Oh, 2-mana tap, draw a card. Wait, I mean, come on. Come on. This is horrible, right? Right, come on. D-.
This looks like garbage to me.
D-, yeah, D-.
Yeah, sure.
By the way,
Are we not creative? We're not... It's really slow, right?
It's just like... You gotta be like playing some kind of a control deck, right? That doesn't kill the opponent. But then you gotta get max speed. Because you really don't want to be paying 5 mana to draw 1 card, 7 mana to 9 mana 3. Like, you don't want to be doing that.
It was good in some sideboarded matches, right?
Maybe, yeah, I don't know, I guess. You gotta get to max speed, but you don't want to be aggressive, because if you're aggressive, you're gonna kill the opponent. You don't want to mill them. You don't want to be spending tons of mana. So, this is like a grindy card with a deck with a lot of removal interaction. But in order for it to work, you need to have good early attackers. Good. Like, it wants to be in a control deck, but it has to be in an aggressive deck. But it's not good in an aggressive deck. but control deck doesn't make it work. So this is so lost. This card really doesn't know what it is. D minus. I can see it being an F, but D minus, I guess.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Roadside Blowout, 2 and a blue for a sorcery. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a permanent with mana value 1. Return target creature or vehicle to an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Draw a card. I mean, like 95% of the time, this is going to be 3 mana, bounce something, draw a card, which is pretty good. I mean, I like that card. I think it's pretty solid, right? Oh yeah, it doesn't get cheaper with tokens. That's weird. I actually overlooked that. I just assumed it would be 1 with tokens. But it doesn't. It costs 3 for tokens, which is kind of sad, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I still think it's like pretty good. So like 3 mana bounce something, draw a card is okay. It's okay.
I think it's very good. Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah, I think it's like a C+.
Yeah, easy C+. I can see it even better. I can see it being even better, but C+ easy. Repulse is instant, right?
Repulse is instant, yeah.
But that card is like amazing.
What a good card.
This is just good. It's.
Last time we saw that was OTJ, right?
3 mana bounce and draw card. Wasn't it Dominaria United? We didn't have this in.
Gosh,
last time we saw.
Literally does not work.
Last time we saw Repulse. Yeah, Repulse, yes. But they don't really print Repulse anymore. They print this 3 mana sorcery. Next up, stock up for 2 and a blue. Look at the sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Oh, that's like a really good divination. Woohoo! This is selection, man. Okay, I like this. This is selection. Yeah, I mean, C at least. Can I give it a C+? I'm gonna give it a C+.
Why not? You're gonna hit your 4th land. You're gonna hit your 4th land for sure.
Yeah, you're always gonna hit it. Or you're not gonna hit any more lands as well if you don't need to. Like, it's one of those.
Yeah, this is really strong, I think.
Yeah.
This is like as strong as it needs to be to not
Suck.
to not affect the board.
Yes.
This is quite powerful, I think.
So what do you give it?
C+ as well.
But
yeah, I'm good for that.
If the set is kind of slow, it goes to B- probably.
Sure.
This kind of really digs for what you need.
Transit Mage, 2 and a blue for a creature human wizard. It's a 2/2. When this creature enters, you may search your library for an artifact card with mana value 4 or 5, reveal it, put into your hand, then shuffle. This is interesting. This is really interesting. Like a 3 mana 2/2 is like bad, right? I mean, it's honestly pretty bad. I pretty much want all of my 4-drops and 5-drops to be artifacts. Because, like, how many 4-drops and 5-drops do I want in my deck? Like, 4 to 5 anyway. But I guess, you know what, to be honest, like, effects like this, if you have 3 of them, it's fine anyway to just get a card off of it. I think this is pretty good. You know what, the more that I think about it, the more that I think this is pretty good. Like, if you just have 3 targets for this, it doesn't matter what they are. Just get a card off of it. It's pretty good. It's probably a B-. I think so.
Yeah, it is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there enough artifacts for 4 and 5 though?
There's the white common vehicle that makes a Thopter, which is actually, I'd be thrilled to fetch that.
The white 5-drop? Yeah, the white 5-drop is great.
There's like other vehicles at 4.
There's a Hull Drifter,
There's a lot of artifacts to fetch. All you need is like 3, and I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. There's not that many in like in blue. There is like Hull Drifter, only that on common.
I don't mind fetching that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, but don't want to run too many of those. So it's kind of like that. Nothing colorless. Nothing that you really want, I think. Yeah, I like this a lot. Sure, I can go B-. I like this. I think you can put enough that it's basically always gonna work. And it's always an on land. The white one, with the white, this is gonna be the best. Yeah. Sabotage Strategist for 2 and a blue. It's a 2/2 flyer flying with vigilance. Whenever one or more creatures attack you, those creatures get -1, -0. You can exhaust it for 5 and double blue and put 3 +1/+1 counters on this creature. Okay, well, I mean, okay, this is worth it. This is like hard to cast. Small body, small boy body. 2/2. Very small for 4. But everything they have become smaller, and I mean, when you pay 7, all of a sudden it's a 5/5 flyer. That's pretty crazy. You have 2 of these on the battlefield. I mean, they still attack. This is important. This is crazy. I'm gonna give it a B- at least. Like, this is crazy effect. B? No. B. I'm giving this a B. It also accrues vehicles on the defense while attacking. Yeah, I want a B. This is like a real thing. This is a real deal.
Dang. I'm a little.
It is only on attacks, though.
The effect is good. I mean, the effect is really good back in Shards of Alara when I first started playing Magic. Hold on. The effect obviously is still really annoying nowadays. 7 mana is a lot, but it's really nice to have. I know you said that already. Vigilance is really nice, especially when you put counters on it. C minus for me. Oh, no, sorry, B minus for me.
Yeah.
I said the wrong word.
I was
Letter.
a little bit worried that we got a fight.
We're about to have a big fight. I do think it's good. I do think it's good and high upside. And honestly speaking, 4 mana for an investment is not that bad. So yeah, B minus for me. I'm not quite as high on it as you are.
No, I think I'm also on a B minus, but maybe a little bit higher than you.
Okay.
It's just like, I was in my head, I automatically compared it a bit to, like, we had some cards that says opponent's creatures get -1, -0 for 5 mana, 6 mana, maybe something like that. And that is so different. Yeah, this is just on the.
It's so different than when it doesn't work on attacks too, you know? It's not like you can attack into your opponent's 2/2.
You don't attack better, yeah. So, still good. But not as good as I thought.
Memory Guardian, 4 and a blue for an artifact creature, robot artificer. 3/4, our affinity for artifacts, flying. I think this is going to cost 4 mana a vast majority of the time. Like, if this is in your opening hand, you can expect this to cost 4 mana. In order for you to play this on turn 3, you need a 1-drop, which is possible, but not super likely.
A double spelling with this card, that's a real deal.
Yeah, double spelling with this is quite good, quite easy, and there's gonna be times where, like, some amount of upside times where you can draw, like where you play a Hull Drifter on like turn 6 and you are able to cast this for 1 mana, which is like pretty dang good. I think this is a good card. I would take this reasonably highly at a C+.
I can even see it being a B- in the right deck. I think there's gonna be enough decks where it is a B- that I'm gonna just give it a B- as a start.
Is this good and constructed? Not like anyone cares about that, but I'm just saying what's on my mind now. Good and constructed.
It doesn't go
Probably
to
not.
0.
Well, the thing is, there's a historic qualifier end of month, and I'm thinking about playing Affinity, so I'm just thinking about it. Anyway, Spike Shell Harrier, 4 and a blue for an artifact creature robot turtle. It's a 4/4. When this creature enters, return target creature or vehicle an opponent controls to its owner's hand. If that opponent's speed is greater than each other player's speed, reduce that opponent's speed by 1. This effect can't reduce their speed below 0. Oh, it's a blue shell. I didn't know that. Oh, snap. The flavor is a blue shell. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that. Oh, I love it. Wow. So this is just a 5 mana 4/4 bounce something. Is that right? Am I reading that wrong?
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really sick.
And you can
I don't even care about the speed part, but the speed part is nice.
It is, why not? Why not?
Yeah, this is.
Wait, what is a blue
card,
shell? What is a blue shell?
Have you never played Mario Kart in your freaking life?
Oh, blue shell from Mario Kart. Yeah, this is, yeah. Okay.
Machi. Gosh, you're about to make enemies with the internet right now.
I don't know. I had a Switch until Eva took it from me.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Anyway, this card is I really like this card. I'm giving this a B. This is 5 mana 4/4, just bounce anything and then also do something pretty tangible on top of that.
That's something.
Chef's kiss.
5 mana 4/4 bounce this. That's how I'm grading it. Everything else is fine. Yeah, B minus.
Yeah, I'm giving this a B. Amazing.
B.
Yeah, you can't stop me.
I don't even want to stop you. I'm giving it a B as well. This is like always gonna be great for tempo. I'm giving it a B as well. Am I? Okay, B. Raid the Helm for 4 and a blue. It's a sorcery. Exchange control of target artifact or creature control with target artifact or creature and opponent control. Cycling 2. Garbaggio. You're sure you have some. Usually have Topters. We had this card in like. You can cycle it for 2, so that's actually really nice because sometimes this sucks. And a lot of times this sucks. It was kind of cool in Kalders, but you had better artifacts that were kind of nothing, but they already drew you a card. I guess you have some here, like in black you got...
Yeah, that vehicle mount crewing one. Come on.
Sorry, what? Oh, the vehicle crewing
Yeah,
one,
that
yeah,
vehicle
but
mount crewing one.
the problem is you don't really want to play that. Then there is a black one that gives -2/-2, so that's kind of okay. Topters are kind of real creatures to exchange, so they're not 1/1 servos, which are also real, but 1/1 flyer, that's like a real deal. You don't want to change those, so I don't see much synergy with it in this set. Really cool card. Don't think it works in this set. I'm just gonna give it a D. Because it has cycling, so you can it has cycling, like it can be good. But then you can just like move it away.
Yeah, I think it can be good. I'll give it a D+. I think this can be quite impactful. In fact, I don't actually think it's that embarrassing to put in your deck. Like D+ is exactly the level. Like, yeah, you put in your deck, and sometimes it's going to be good. Most of the times, you're just going to cycle it, but it's fine. It's fine.
I
Not a
think
big deal.
these cards are basically always traps. Because the thing is, they're not 1/1s.
It's not. It depends on the delta between your worst creature and their best creature, or your worst artifact and their best creature.
Yep, and if they have bounce. Right,
Pretty
if
much.
they have bounce. But yeah, it is true. It is true. You can also have bounce.
Oh, that's it for uncommons, isn't it?
This is the last uncommon, right?
Yes, that's the last uncommon.
These are pretty powerful uncommons, I think.
There's a lot of things to like about blue. Yeah.
We are gonna work out
a lot of good things.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Please repeat.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say there's a lot of reasonable things that make me pretty happy about the artifact type line. You know how we're speculating about that with the 2-mana 2/1.
Yep.
There's it looks like between commons and uncommons, I'm pretty happy with artifacts as type line. The thing is, we haven't hit red yet. We haven't hit the Carlos that like punish artifacts necessarily. So like, to be honest, I know that there's a 2-mana sorcery that destroys artifacts, and there's a 2-mana sorcery in white that destroys artifacts. But overall, it looks like I'm pretty happy to have artifact as a type line instead of not.
Yeah, probably. I just feel there's a good amount of like just good cards in blue. Like there's a good amount of just good cards. No good aggro. Doesn't feel like any good aggro. But like just good cards. It feels like you're gonna be fine in the early game, and you're gonna be fine in the mid game and late game as well. So
how much does what you just said reduce your opinion of the 1-mana bounce? Because the caveat of the 1-mana bounce is that bounce something, tap a creature is a good card, right? That's the caveat that I set out for you when we talked about that bounce spell.
It doesn't. Like, usually where I like these bounces, it can be either heavy control deck or super fast deck. And when you're like heavy control deck, then it's like you can draw these cards and then there's that 1 mana. Like opponent crews a vehicle, and then you bounce that vehicle on the attacks. And then the thing is, now they lost 2 attackers. It's similar, right? And if you're aggressive, on the end of their turn, you bounce their creature, and now they lost 2 blockers. So it kind of works, I think, works well in both scenarios. So it doesn't make it worse. I like 1 mana bounce to get some tempo back, even though it doesn't gain me an extra card. It'll just loses me a card without opponent losing it. But it feels good. It feels good. I want to go.
You want to read this?
Sure. By the way, just so everybody, I slept like 3 hours or something like that. So I don't know. If I sound weird, what can you do? That's maybe the reason.
I've had like 4 glasses of wine. Okay,
Relax.
You're fine.
Okay, I'm glad that you did. You said that you want to match my energy, so I'm very glad that you did that. I don't know what...
Yeah, I can barely think. I'm exactly on your level.
I can think. Okay, Mind Spring Merfolk. For a blue, you get a 1/1. Exhaust X and blue. I'm older than Scotty, that is also true. For X, blue, and tap, draw X cards, put a +1/+1 counter on each Merfolk creature you control. This is a Merfolk. Wait, are there any other Merfolks, Scotty? Are there any other Merfolks? Huh? Type?
I think Merfolk is the creature type is quite rare.
No.
I don't know if
There is 0 commons. And there is 0 uncommons. Okay, they literally don't exist. They literally don't exist in this set. I'm writing correctly. Merfolk. Merfolk, yeah. Literally don't exist. Never mind. Okay. So, you pay 1 mana, you get a 1/1. You pay 4, you get a 3/3 that draws 2 cards. Without being able to blow you out. You pay 5, oh gee, man, this, wow. What? This is like Glimmerburst on steroids, I think.
What? What are you talking about?
Oh, you always put
Sorry,
1+1/+1 counter on it. I thought you put X counters on it. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I
Yeah,
was like,
that was a test. And everybody's listening, and that was a test. So
all right, never mind. You're more drunk than I am.
it's still great. I mean, come on, man. Like that's why it took me so long to go to bedroom. Like when I don't sleep, my everything fucks up about my body. So only 1 counter. I mean, it's still. I mean, it's 1+4, draw 2 cards, get a 2/2. 1+5, draw 3 cards, get a 2/2. I think this is amazing. I think this is incredible. I'm gonna give it a B.
I think it's a little slow.
You can pay 3 mana, get a 2/2 if you need to block and draw 1 card. Like, how many things are you playing on turn 1, really?
It's really slow. I mean, it's not a huge argument. I think it's a good card. I think it's a B-. But
Okay.
you know, like, it's all relatively arbitrary. We all know that. It's like pretty arbitrary. So like, you know, it's a pretty good card. I don't mind it. I just think it's on par with like the best uncommons and stuff. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's pretty arbitrary, and then you continue next 3 sentences. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's pretty good, man.
Hey, it's a good card.
The nice thing is, like, it just scales forever.
For example, I think this is a lot better than Hull Drifter. I do.
Oh, way better. Like this.
I'd much rather this.
There could be exhaust synergies. Yeah, I mean, there's not that many, but there could be. Hi. Next. A frog.
River Churn Monument, 1 in a blue, artifact, 1, tap. Any number of target players, each mills 2 cards. Exhaust, 2, blue. Any number of target players, each mills cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. This is an F. You can run this. But like, I would reckon that any other sort of evasive finisher is better than this. But yeah, sure, you can win games with this. Like, but at that point, if you have a solid base control deck, you can win with anything. It doesn't have to be this. This is an F. This is not a reason to control. It's not powerful enough. It's not fast enough. It's expensive.
I don't know. Okay. I kind of think. I don't think so. Sure, you gotta pay mana a lot to do this. Opponent just plays cards as well. You play removal as well. And at one point, you're like, bomb, you have the same amount of cards in your graveyard as it's instant speed as well, right? As cards in your library, let's go. I think this is something. With looting in the set, some self-mill, I think. I think this is something. I'm gonna
Sideboard.
I'm gonna give it a D minus or D. D. I think I'm a believer. This can do things, but
Sideboard at best.
I think this can do things. Like with, I think this can do things.
Gosh. How many times are you looking at your opponent? I mean, I get okay. Do you know the nice thing about this is that you can pop it off for 4 mana, move your opponent for like 13, and their opponent still has 6 cards in their deck, and that's fine. They're fine with that. That's actually, I mean, it's fudge. D-, you win. Well done.
And it's not just that they play cards, the cards die, and yeah. Then the frog does it. I think it's bad, but it can do things. And you can even, I don't know if you can really build a deck around it, but you kind of can, because the problem with these mill cards is like, if you draw it too late, okay, it's too late to start milling. But this one, if you draw too late, well, they already have a lot of cards in their graveyard, probably. So that's kind of
It's absolutely a Magic card that like it's gonna feel great because the matchup's gonna be great, and we're all best of one gamers anyway, because we all play Arena instead of Magic the Gathering, you know. But like
I
it's
play
gonna
a
feel
bit
good
of
in some
paper.
matchup.
People, that's you.
Okay.
People play paper. Are you going to pre-release this time?
I never go to pre-release. I don't have a pre-release. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stay home.
But it's not for it does. It's not. You don't have that feeling like, oh man, I can play the set like right now. I can touch the cards right now. Like I can.
Can you imagine taking a physical deck home with you and then having it sit in your home? How big is your house? How rich are you, man?
Okay,
you
that is
rich?
a little bit of a problem. Like I have so many commons and uncommons lying around everywhere. Yeah, not everywhere, but that is a little bit of a problem with pre-releases. You get a lot of cards.
I live in a crowded city, and I don't have space for Magic
You
cards.
can donate it
I don't
to
want
like
them.
you can donate it to people.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, you could leave it at the LGS, but like then I have to. Okay, for me, do you have a car, Lola? Do you have a vehicle?
I bought a car last year. My first car.
I'm gonna take the subway to the LGS. I ain't gonna do that. It's gotta be a big. It has to be something I want to do, like really badly. That we both want to do. Me and my wife want to do together.
Yeah, I
So
also
I'm
live
not
alone,
gonna
so I
take a
have kind of
subway.
like a bachelor's place. Like, sure, I have these board games behind me, but there's like room. There's room because I don't have much. I have my TV, my speakers, like books, and like I don't have much. When female friends come to my place, they're like, oh, yeah, this is a man's apartment. Like I say, oh, is it bad? Like, no, it's nice, but this is a man's apartment. They always every one of my female friends says that when they come first time, or maybe even later. Like, it's
You
like,
know that's them being nice. That's saying your apartment is filthy and smelly.
no,
I'm
isn't
sorry.
that?
I'm
They're
just
like,
saying it.
no, they said like there's just like not many things, but there is a big TV and speakers and I don't know how to say the equalizer or something, how to say that, and then there's like this PC and stuff. There's like this technical stuff, but decorating and shit, that's not really here.
Okay, copium, but okay.
Okay, but there was before Eva literally took everything. So there was these things. There were these things.
Dang,
like,
you're playing that card on me.
Yeah, but I mean,
well,
we were not together for 1 year and a half, and I didn't really decorate. Like, I didn't.
Oh, 1 year and a half? Has it been that long? Absurd.
It's been that long.
No chance. Wow, I really don't check up on you. Anyway, Vings with verbose host. 1 in a blue for 2 mana 0/4. Legendary creature homunculus. Start your engines. You have no maximum hand size. At max speed, if you draw a card, draw 2 cards instead. This is worse than the 1/3. This is worse than the 1/3. Wow. I don't care about this. It's like you can't even do max speed if your opponent stumbles. This is not. I don't like this at all. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
I mean, this really doesn't
It
help
does
you get
block
to
better
max
than the
speed.
1/3.
Like, this cannot help you get to max speed, right?
At all. I'm giving this a D.
Yeah, I'm on a D as well. I don't give a fuck.
Sad. Start your engines. Time to attack our opponent with a 0 power creature.
0/4.
Gosh, so fast.
Hey,
So furious.
repurposing Bay for 2 and a blue. Artifact 2, tap, sacrifice another artifact. This is gonna be bad. Like, I don't even know what it does, so it's gonna be bad. Search your library for an artifact card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice artifact mana value. Put it into the battlefield and shuffle, activate only the source. Yeah, these are all. You like. We did enough tier list. Like, you just need like how much does it cost to activate, and it's always gonna be bad. It's never like something make a 5/5 art. It's always like this shit that searches for things. Just F. Literally don't play it. It is never better than anything else that you can put in the deck. It's never better than that. F.
Basic land instead. F.
Basic land is that. Yeah. I need light, or I need. Please continue.
Thopter Fabricator, 2 in a blue, 3 mana total for an artifact vehicle. It's a 4/4 with flying. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying.
Whoa.
Crew 2. Flying 4/4 3 mana crew 2. That's not a bad vehicle on its own. Do I even want to? Yes, if your opponent's tapped out, I'll absolutely clock my opponent, but you can cycle literally any magic card on your turn and get a Thopter, which is pretty dang good. Pretty dang good.
Bitches.
Dang good. B+.
Especially in Izzet. What? B?
B+.
B+, that's a lot. I'm just gonna give it a B for now. In Izzet and stuff like that, it gets better, I guess. Because you don't really want to be cycling, I think. So B. But it's a real body, so just a B for now. Unstoppable Plan for 2 and a blue enchantment. This is also gonna be bad. I don't even know what it does. At the beginning of your end step, untap all non-land permanents you control. Yeah, horrible. Yeah. It's like, yeah. It is. Oh, yeah. These blue cards are always like when they're not creatures or instant sorceries, or you just notice. Or when you see triple red. Usually, when you see triple red in a cost and it's a sorcery or instant, it's usually just complete unplayable garbage. Yeah, just an F. Don't play this. It loses your card. Not worth a full card ever. Vehicles. Yeah, vehicles.
Yeah, F. Yep.
Just play another creature for
Really
3. Like, imagine this. So when this card looks really good in your deck, because I see this shit a lot, think bad stuff like this a lot. Just think about like having a 3-drop creature. Feels like a bomb. All of a sudden, like 3-drop creature feels like a bomb.
Waxen Shape Thief. Waxen Shape Thief is a 3 and a blue, 4 mana total for a shapeshifter 0/0 with flash. You may have this creature enter as a copy of an artifact or a creature you control, cycling 2.
You control.
Yikes. Yeah, this is ugh. Adding an extra mana cost onto Mirror Image for the cost of cycling is not good. Mirror Image was not a good Magic card. Unfortunately speaking, I think this is quite bad. This is a D+ for me. Rough. Not usually not worth it. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty mediocre. It's quite bad.
D. It's a card. This is like you can play it, but you don't really wanna. The problem is usually because you're not copying. It's gonna be very hard to copy something that costs 4 or more mana. That is not an easy thing to do. And at that point, when you're paying 4, just get a 4-drop instead of trying to copy 4-drop, 5-drop, 6-drop. That's the deal. That 4-drop is always gonna be exactly that 4-drop, and sure, it's gonna feel amazing when you copy something crazy, but then it's a lot of times it's gonna be shit. I gotta copy my 2-drop. And because most of the creatures are going to be lower costed in your deck. Hopefully. Possession Engine. 3 and a blue, it's a 5/5. When this creature enters, gain control of target creature opponent controls for as long as you control this vehicle. That creature can't attack or block for as long as you control this vehicle. Crew 3. No sacrifice, so it's not like you're going to sack it, really. It's basically like a removal spell where they can bounce it. It can crew this creature, right? You can crew things like this creature. Yeah, actually you can crew things. I mean, this is very good. This is very good. It's actually a better removal, right? Because it can crew things. That creature cannot. It can crew things. It can crew things. I thought it can't. Yeah, very good. B.
I'm gonna reckon that this is better than Mind Control. I'm gonna reckon.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Why do you reckon?
The things that can kill Mind Control can probably not always kill this.
I mean, attacking and blocking kills this.
You don't have to crew this.
Yeah, but that kills it, right? It's mind control. You're happy when your mind controlled creature dies because you traded it or something.
Yeah, you can still trade the mind controlled creature. I don't understand. Am I stupid?
Well, no, but something weird is happening. So you mind control something, you get it,
Yep.
and you attack
Yep.
block. You don't give a fuck. You just attack block, not nowhere in your mind, and that creature dies. It opponent removes it or it trades with another creature. Amazing. You just got an amazing 2
Yeah,
for
yeah,
1.
yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah,
This
yeah.
is
No, I'm
not.
stupid. I'm stupid. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm stupid.
You're
Yeah.
not
That's a
stupid. You
big
just
difference.
made
It's a big
a
difference. Worse than mind control,
mistake in
for sure.
judgment.
Yeah, B sounds about right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I think you're right about this. Yeah, it's a B. It is worse than mind control in my opinion.
And that's good. Mind control is way too powerful, I think. Or limited. It is
Yep.
way too powerful effect. It is like value and tempo, but crazy value and crazy tempo because you're getting the best card on the battlefield. So mind
you're
control
right.
is
You're
kind
right.
of
You're
too
right.
much for limited.
We on Mythics now?
Yeah. Mu Yanling, Windrider. Oh, this is making a huge splash, this card, like maybe in constructed as well. For 2 and double blue, it's a 2/4 legendary. When this creature enters, create a 3/2 colorless vehicle artifact creature token with crew 1. Vehicles you control have flying. Whenever one or more creatures you control with flying deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. Hello, small Bonnie Paul. 2 bodies, it's always 2 bodies. Every freaking vehicle, if you have, let's say you have no vehicles, that's the floor, obviously. You get a 3/2 flying vehicle that's that, and every other vehicle and every other flyer is gonna like draw you cards, but 1 per turn. Amazing, incredible. It is value, it is this is what I've been talking about sometimes. If it gets, same like mind control, similar, if it gets you value and tempo, which this does, like you're getting extra cards, and tempo, you're getting more than what you paid for. I think this is way more than, like, overstated, but really overstated. You're winning limited in both ways that you usually win limited. So there is no place this is bad. You're ahead, amazing. You're behind, amazing. Just an A? This is a bomb, I think.
It's an A.
Oh, there's like 1 mythic?
Oh yeah, that's it.
What happened with mythics? Where are they?
They're all in Moo. They're all Moo.
Removed? Is that what you said?
They're all Moo.
What does that mean?
I'm not. You're just like my mom. Gosh. I'm not gonna explain that one to you.
Moo, like a cow. What? Come on.
Black cards. Do you have to pee? I have to pee.
You can go pee.
I gotta go to the bathroom.